are there losing from the left, the Gladiator and the Gloster. Of course, the last biplane fighter to serve with the Royal Air Force, a type that first flew in 1934, continued to serve into the Second World War, even though it was outmoded by the time hostilities broke out. It was based on a previous Gloster design, the Gauntlet, but modified in line with more modern requirements. It had a larger engine, for example, that Bristol Mercury that Ben was talking about. It had 4 machine guns rather than 2. It had more aerodynamic wings. And it also had an enclosed cockpit, the first British biplane to do so. It did in several critical theatres as well, it must be said, particularly famed for its service in Norway, in North Africa, and more so than the rest in Malta.
Yes, the story of the Maltese gladiators, or more precisely the Sea Gladiators, the fighter-flight stationed at Hal Far with the Fleet Air Arm, has been told and retold over the years. In truth, there weren't just 3 Sea Gladiators named Faith, Hope and Charity. Doubtful the aircraft ever actually carried those names. But it is very true that they put up a dogged defence of the Mediterranean island. Of course, when we're talking about gladiator exploits during the Second World War, we're really referring to operations significantly against the odds, and so it was in Malta, where the Sea Gladiators were more effective against the Fiat CR-32 and CR-42 biplane fighters they came up against than against more modern German and Italian biplanes. Just as noteworthy, I think, as the operations in Malta were those in Norway, also in 1940, where RAF and Norwegian Army Air Service gladiators were trying to defend the country against a German invasion. Those of number 263 Squadron of the RAF arrived in the theatre on HMS Glorious in April. They had to be evacuated after just a few days due to the number of gladiators that had gone unserviceable, but then they came back in May 1940 and claimed no fewer than 26 kills against Luftwaffe aircraft. They were evacuated again in early June. Glorious was sunk, All 10 of the surviving gladiators were destroyed, and 8 of the pilots were killed.
There was one theatre of operations for the Gladiator that I find particularly fascinating, and that was in Iraq, where in 1941 Britain and Iraq briefly came to blows following an Iraqi coup. The new Iraqi leadership, which was backed by the Axis powers, inherited control of the Iraqi Air Force, which had been extensively supplied with British equipment, including Gladiators of their own. And they began using Gladiators in the ground attack role, although not with any great success. It just so happened that British forces in the region had also been equipped with Gladiators, and so the stage was set for British and Iraqi Glads to begin fighting each other. And on the 5th of May 1941, that culminated in the first and only Gladiator-on-Gladiator kill when